Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the online class. So we already learned about the Egyptian civilization. Yes. So in this chapter, we people are going to learn about the civilizations of the world, that also particularly Egypt, Mesopotamia, and China. Okay. Among these three civilizations, we already completed Egypt one. Okay. Regarding that session, you people are having any kind of doubt, you can contact me. Okay. See, let's move for without wasting. Let us move for the lesson only. Okay, that is the Mesopotamian civilization. Yes, so today in this session, we people are going to discuss about the civilization that is Mesopotamia. Okay, so I know you people are thinking why the madam is used to get repeatedly. She used to tell us civilization and Egypt civilization, Mesopotamia civilization, because these world civilizations are important. How we people are used to give a importance to the Indian civilization, in the same way these are also very important for us. Yes, for that reason I'm going to say it, or I'm going to repeat it again and again. So let us move the civilization. Yes, see here. Yes, that on that map, that orange and yellow white, that map you are able to see, in that map, that green color I surrounded, means I circled one thing. Okay, that circled, overall the circle thing is belongs to a Mesopotamia. Okay, see here. Mesopotamia is an area that lies in a valley between two rivers. Yes, the rivers also I have named. The first one is Tigris and Euphrates. Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Yes, this how the Indian valley civilization used to originate from the Indian Indus civilization, or Indus River. In the same way, this Mesopotamia civilization is also lies in a valley between two rivers. Okay, yes, see, many of the places described in the Old Testament Testament can be seen here. The land, sorry guys, the land which inspires away and fascination is called land between the rivers, or Mesopotamia. See, the meaning of Mesopotamia is also mentioned. Mesopotamia means the land which fascination inspire away and fascination is called Mesopotamia, or land between the rivers. Yes, so this sentence was said by the Greek peoples. Now, the next sentence is the two rivers. Yes, you can see, you people are able to see those two rivers. The first one is Euphrates and the Tigris river. Yes, so this Mesopotamia is lies in a valley between two rivers. The first river is Euphrates and the Tigris river. These two rivers had made this West Asian barren land very fertile. Okay, where usually rivers flow, that particularly that all surrounded area of the river is also brings not only a civilization, even that surrounded area is also become a very fertilizer, or very fertile it becomes. Okay, now comes, see, on desktop I have mentioned ancient Mesopotamia. Yes, in this ancient Mesopotamia, some of the important cities I have mentioned. Yes, uh, Assyria is there. Yes, then Tigris river name is there. Two rivers are there. Tigris is also there. Yes, Babylonian is there. Assur, Nivain, and Babylonia is there. Sumer is there. Eridu, Urul. These all are the cities of the Mesopotamia. Yes, now comes. It was the fertility of this area that attracted the people to it. Since food crops could be grown with little effort, the northern highly or hilly tribes, northern hilly tribes and the southern nomadic tribes of the desert tried to establish control over this area. These two tribal people used to control the area. Yes, the rivalry between these tribes led to number of endless conflicts. Wherever the river places are there, most of the river places are means those people's those land, that land is called, okay, that surrounded land, that river land is always it's full of a conflict. Yes. Next, however, in the midst of these conflicts, there emerged a civilization of a strong and brave race. Let me read it once again. The rivalry between these tribes. These tribes means there are two tribes will come. The first one is northern hilly tribes and the southern nomadic tribes. Okay, these two tribal tribes were always led to do a endless conflicts between those tribes. There is a endless conflict means jagada yuddhagalu. Yes, however, in the midst of these conflicts there emerged a civilization of strong and brave race. Now comes cuneiform. Yes, cuneiform, you can see here some of the literary works we can see, like some of the written things, the system of writing, the system of script or a writing system we can see. Yes, the Sumerians were the first ones to evolve a system of writing in Mesopotamia. These means Sumerians were the first persons who evolved a system of writing in Mesopotamia. These people only started to bring a writing system in Mesopotamia. Next comes for 30 centuries. For 30 centuries, all those who entered the fertile valley, like Sumerians, Babylonians, Assyrians, and Persians, used this system of writing, which was called as a cuneiform. Okay, this cuneiform is a system of writing which was started by or from the Sumerians. Okay, next. The central area of this civilization was the southern part of the valley between the Euphrates and the Tigris River. From olden time onwards, this area had been referred to as Babylonians. Okay, next. The northern part of Babylonia was called as Akkad and the southern part called as a Sumer. Yes, the northern part of the Babylonia is called Akkad and the southern part of Babylonia is called Sumer. Now comes the northern part of Mesopotamia was known as Assyria. The northern part of Mesopotamia is also called Assyria. Okay. Next comes Ziggurat. Ziggurat was the one of the famous place of the Mesopotamia. Yes. See, let's move. Let us see what is importance of this Ziggurat and why we used to call it as Ziggurat name only. Okay, not Ziggurat. It's a Ziggurat. Okay. The history of Mesopotamia is a story of endless heartache and conflict. Yes, this Mesopotamia is also a story of a endless hearted conflicts, hatred conflicts. So many conflicts we can see after those knowing the stories only we comes to know what is mean by the ziggurat and what is in Mesopotamia and what is the civilization life of the people of Mesopotamia. Yes, see, the Sumerians, the hilly tribe from the north, were the first to arrive here. Sumerians, who belongs to the hilly tribes, so those people they used to come, they used to comes or they used to arrive for the first time in Mesopotamia. They who they who used to worship their gods on top of the hills, after coming to the plains, built artificial hills and established their places of worship there. These were called as a ziggurat. Let me read it once again. Sumerians who used to worship their gods on top of the hills. Okay, after coming to the plains, built artificial hills. They built artificial hills and established their places of worship there only. Okay, so that only called, or these were only called ziggurat. Okay. They did not know how to build stairs and before surrounded them with sloping galleries. They don't know how to build the stairs. Stairs means steps. Okay. They don't know how to build the stairs and therefore surrounded them with sloping galleries. For that reason only they made a sloping gallery. Okay. Better than stairs because they don't know how to build the stairs. Okay. Next, the Jews called these the towers of Babel. Okay, when Sumerians built that or those sloping galleries, those galleries only called as towers of the Babel. Who called towers of the Babel? The Jews were called these as the towers of the Babel. Now comes, see, look at here, one of the architects were mentioned, or the one of the sculpture were mentioned on the desktop. Okay, the Sumerians had entered Mesopotamia in 4000 before Common Era. Later, they were overpowered by the Akkadians, one of the tribes of the Arabian deserts. Okay, Akkadians also a tribe peoples, and they were comes from the Arabian desert. They were a very powerful person. Yes, these are also known as Semites. These were also called Semites. After 1,000 years, these Akkadians come to be ruled over by the Amorites, and Amorites, another Semitic tribe. Amorians, this is the another one Semitic tribe. Okay, the first Semitic tribe is Akkadians. Okay, so Akkadians come to be ruled when they used to come to ruled over the Amorites. They another one Amorites are the another one Semitic tribe. Akkadians, these were the first Semitic tribe, and the Amorites were the second type of Semitic tribe. The most famous king of the Amorites was Hammurabi. Okay, the most of the famous king Hammurabi was the famous king of the tribal people of Amorites. Yes, Amorites, Akkadians, these were the tribe peoples. Okay, next he got a fabulous palaces for himself in Babylonia. He built himself only some of the beautiful or the fabulous palaces in Babylonia. Now comes, he framed the courts of justice. Means here in Kannada also they were written Hammurabiya Kanunugala Sangraha. Yes, yes, the administration, how the Hammurabi used to justifies the things. Yes, that here in this desktop or in this page we people will learn. He framed the courts of justice and made Babylonia to be considered the best administrated kingdom in the whole of the old world. Whole of the old world. the um, the Hittites, who came later, occupied the valley and destroyed all that they could not carry away. These Hittites were defeated by the Assyrians, who were the followers of Asura, the desert god. Asura were also called as the god of the desert. Okay, so these Hittites were defeated by the Assyrians, who were also called or who were the followers of the Asuras. Yes, next. The Assyrians occupied the whole of West Asia and Egypt till about 7th century before Common Era and collected taxes from all the people there. Okay, they started to collect the taxes also. Other Semitic tribe is called Chaldeans. Okay, Chaldeans. Chaldeans were re-established Babylonia in the 7th century before Common Era and developed it into a prominent capital of that time. Next. Now comes Nebuchadnezzar was the greatest king among them, and he encouraged the study of science. From here onwards, the tribe people also started to learn the science. Okay, and this Nebuchadnezzar, not only a greatest king among the kings of the tribe people, also he encouraged to the study of, or the study of science also. Yes, but the Chaldeans came under the attack of the Persians in the 6th century before Common Era. 200 years later, Alexander transformed this place of the Semitic peoples into a Greek provinces. Okay, this Alexander, he transformed the place. Which place? This, the 200 years later, which one? This prominent capital was translated into a place of the Semitic peoples into a Greek provinces. He translated to the Greek as a Greek province. Okay. After the rulers of the Romans and Turks who followed Alexander, this civilization declined and turned into a wilderness. This become a this only tells us that this is the end of the civilization of the Mesopotamia. Yes. Guys, let me tell you once again the same thing only from the Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, Nebuchadnezzar was the greatest king among the tribe peoples. Okay, like Semitics, which all there are two types of Semitics we have learned, and also not only he was the greatest king, he also encouraged the study of science. Okay, but the Chaldeans come under the attack of the Persian in the century of 6th century before Common Era. 200 years later, that particular Mesopotamia places, which all are the places will come under that Mesopotamia, those all important places were translated or transformed Semitic peoples into a Greek province after the rulers of the Romans and the Turk who followed Alexander. Whomsoever were followed the uh, Alexander, they comes to know that the civilization of the Mesopotamia where comes to an end. Okay. Now comes the next civilization, that is called Chinese civilization. Yes, let us see that also now. The Chinese civilization. It is a special feature of all ancient civilizations that they were established on river plains. Okay. See, now I have given that river also. Yes, that river and where the Chinese civilization were started or established, that also I have mentioned here. Okay, you can see in the picture number 1 that green color were mentioned Chinese civilization. Yes, next. It is a special feature of all ancient civilizations that they were established on river plains. The Chinese civilization was no exception to this, but the river which led to the establishment of the Chinese civilization was known as China's sorrow. Yes, where this Chinese civilization was established, that a river is also called Chinese sorrows. Chinese or China's sorrow. Yes, that river is also called, or even we can tell it like the river which led to the establishment of the Chinese civilization, which was a reason, which river become a reason to establishment of the civilization, that is called as a China's sorrow. Yes, this was the Huangho Huangho river. Yes, that river is all that river, actually that river name is Huangho, but when that river become a reason to establishment of the Chinese civilization, at that time it's known as a China's sorrow. After the floods, this river changed its course in an unpredictable manner and in abundant. After the floods, this river changed its course in an unpredictable manner and in inundated houses and agricultural lands. Okay, it would render all the canals useless. This was the reason the people of that area referred to it as a symbol of sorrow. Yes, even I have mentioned that why that Huangho River is also was called as or also China's sorrow, because when it's changed its course, not only it's changed its course, and even it's become a reason to decline of the people's agricultural land and even undated houses also. Yes, for that reason, those people who belongs to the China, those people used to call this Huangho River is a symbol of a sorrow. Yes, according to the archaeological, so it would render all the canals useless. See, that also they were mentioned here. Yes, now comes now comes the term that the Chinese civilization will briefly I'm going to explain you in a point way. So you have to follow these points only. Okay, according to your textbook only, I have mentioned some of the points which are the very easy and important for you. Yes, so let us move to know about the Chinese civilization. What is the importance of the Chinese civilization? Yes, so earlier, now only within a 5 minutes you people learn that how the Chinese civilization comes to the establishment, and why the Huanghe River is also called as a China's sorrow. Yes, let's move to the next point. According to the archaeological evidences, the first ruling family of the Chinese civilization was the Shang dynasty. According to the archaeologist, okay, who used to study about the historical things or the past events of the things, those people usually called as a archaeological persons, or means archaeological persons, and archaeological evidences means which all are the things of after digging the house by using the scientific methods, which all are things we will get from the earth, those all which are going to tell us about the history or history past events, that all the evidences are called archaeological evidences. Yes, in first lesson only people have learned how many types are there in archaeological sources, that you people learn. Okay, so let's move to the Chinese civilization. According to the archaeological evidences, the first ruling family of the Chinese civilization was the Shang dynasty. Yes, so it ruled in the period between the 18th century before Common Era and the 12th century before Common Era. Under the rule of this dynasty, the people had developed a wonderful cultural by the 14th century before Common Era. They were ruled the dynasty who this Shang dynasty ruled the China between the 18th century to 12th century before Common Era. Yes, under the rule of this dynasty, the people had developed their culture department, or they developed the culture in a wonderful way in the century of 14th before Common Era. The Shang dynasty was overpowered by the neighboring Zhou dynasty. Yes, the Chong dynasty was overpowered by the neighboring Zhou dynasty. The Zhou dynasty continued the good traditions of the Shang culture and ruled till 250 before Common Era. Yes, the this Shang dynasty ruled 18th century to 12th century before Common Era, and this after the Zhou dynasty is also continued its good tradition and traditions of Shang. How the Shang used to develop their culture and tradition, that culture only, that tradition only continued to the even to the Zhou dynasty also. Yes, up to the rule of 200 and before common 250 before Common Era. Yes, now comes in the Zhou dynasty there was a section of official below the kings. Yes, in the Zhou dynasty some of the official sections were made here. Okay, below the kings. The king allotted portions of land to the officials. King allotted some of the important portions of the lands for the officials, okay, to the official work also. Yes, in the term for that, in return for that, the officials supported the king during battles. Those officials things were used to get supported from the king during the battles. In the social, in the social satisfaction or stratification stratification, the communities in the next level were the merchants and craft persons. Let me read it once again. In the social stratification, in the social stratification, see guys, I am stressing the same word again and again because I know that you people are not knowing the meaning of this stratification. When you will get this video, write the meaning of this social stratification. Okay, in the social stratification, the communities in the next level were the merchants and the craft person. Apart from them, we can find a great majority of peasants as well as okay. In the lowest strata of social social hierarchy were the slaves. Social hierarchy were the slaves here. Okay, means whomsoever will comes in the lowest strata. Okay, write the meaning of strata also. Yes, after the stratification, write the meaning of strata. Okay, in the lowest strata of social hierarchy were the slaves. The prisoners the prisoners of war were made slaves by the king. Prisoners means ಯುದ್ಧದಲ್ಲೇ ಸೋತಂತಹ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನ ಖೈದಿಗಳನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬಂಧಿಗಳನ್ನಾಗಿ ಏನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಸೊ ದೋಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ prisoners here. Okay, those prisoners only made here as a slaves for the kings. Okay, king usually made prisoners as a slaves here. Next comes the in Chinese civilization, the Shang king, the king of Shang. Okay, the Shang kings spent quite an amount of time in conquest and battle. Hence, the army was in prominence. The soldiers enjoyed a dignified place in society. See, when the Shang dynasty was established in China, at that time, the first dynasty was the Shang dynasty. Yes, so this Shang kings, they spend a quite amount, the little bit amount of the time they used to spend for the conquest and even in the battlefield. Okay, hence the army was very important for those people. Then also they spent a little amount of a time in conquest also, and also to get improvement or a development in the society of social, religious, and also in cultural department also. Yes, here now comes the soldiers, where soldiers wear bronze helmets and metal armors. See, in previous we learned here the soldiers enjoyed a dignified place in society. Here, when Shang dynasty came to establish at that time, the soldiers whomsoever were comes in Shang under the rule of the Shang kings, those all the soldiers were enjoyed their dignified or their their dignified life. Okay, they got their place place or they got a respectful life in the courtyard of Shang kings. Yes, now comes soldiers were used to get a bronze helmets here and even metal armors. Do you know what is armor? Yes, armor. Nowadays also we used to call that weapon as a armor only. Okay, so tell me what is the armor, the metal armor. Okay, from the from the civilization of Chinese onwards to nowadays also we people are know this weapon. Okay, now also we used to call it as a armor only. Okay, see, the Chinese or the soldiers they used to wear the bronze helmets. Yes, helmet means ಕಿರೀಟಗಳು. Now while driving the bike we used to put that helmet, no, but that is helmet is different and this bronze helmet is different. What we are going to learn now, that helmet is different. Okay, see, in the first picture we can see the helmet of that soldier. That is very interesting helmet is there. Yes, And not only that, and even the metal armor also they people are having. Okay, next, the bronze daggers, axes, bows, and iron tipped arrows which they used have been found. See, they have been found, or um, they used to get different types of weapons and tools. Yes, so those are bronze daggers, axes, bows, and iron tipped arrows. These type of things they have been found. Okay, so these all the weapons and weapons were used in during the conquest or battles. Yes. Now comes, have you take a look of the life of in the first picture you can see the area of the China. China means the civilization means Shang dynasty you can see, and in the second picture you can see the agriculture land. Okay, see, the people of the Shang dynasty depended on agriculture. Yes, because this civilization was established near the river. Okay, that is Hongho river. Okay, so for that reason only these Shang dynasty almost they depended on the agriculture. They had a well organized system of irrigation. Do you know how many types of irrigations we can see? If you don't know, then tell me how many types of irrigations we people are having in agriculture field. How many? Make a list. Okay, make a list of the irrigation systems. Okay, there are so many irrigation systems are there. Okay, irrigation means not only well, tube will come, canal, small canal will not come. Different types of irrigation systems you people can see. Okay, make a list of the irrigation system. Okay, which all are the under the irrigation systems, which all are things will come, means which all are the irrigation systems will come, how many types of irrigations are there. Write it and send it to me through the, where you have to send, through the Google Classroom app only, not in WhatsApp. If you people used to send, or now onwards you people are sending through the WhatsApp, your homework will not be acceptable. Okay, your homework is not acceptable. Understood? See, because we people are trying to improve you, and even we people also can use a new type of things to teach you. Okay. They used to grow plenty of rice. They started to grow the rice now. Okay, when they depended on agriculture and a well organized system of irrigation, they started to grow the plenty of rice. Okay. Now comes porcelain. Do you know what is porcelain? You don't know? See, let me tell you that also. Afterwards, after reading this and these points, I will tell you in Kannada what is that. Okay, porcelain. It is believed that porcelain originated in China. That believed, actually, it is a real thing that porcelain was originated in China only. Okay, it starts from there only, and that also particularly Shang dynasty onwards. Okay, we can see this porcelain in Shang dynasty. Yes, in Chinese civilization. Semi-porcelain objects were in use from 1600 BCE. Porcelain we can see, and even semi-porcelain also we can see. Yeah, I know that after watching this video, or after watching this this particular page, what I am going to repeat it now, that in that page you can see the some of the objects, means some of the porcelain and semi porcelain objects. Okay, you will get the idea what it means it. Okay, pingani vastugalu, like we nowadays we used to call it as a crockery items. Yes. Next. Porcelain. Porcelain, by the time of the reign of the Han dynasty, 200 in the bracket I have mentioned when it was established. Okay, the reign of the Han dynasty, 200 before Common Era. Okay, glazed porcelain had been developed. Okay, in 200 before Common Era, the dynasty of Han, the porcelain had been developed. Means పింగాణియ వస్తువులు or crockery items. Okay, it had developed into an exotic art. Okay, these Chinese people only, or this Han dynasty, developed the art of the exotic. Okay, the ancient Chinese used to bury their dead along with porcelain pots. When they used to, do you know how many types of burial systems are there? I know you people already learned in a previous lesson that how many types of burial systems are there. Okay, during that burial system only, Chinese people also, ancient Chinese people also used to do that. Along with the dead body, they used to keep porcelain pots, animals, and objects which that dead body used to love most. Okay, during their lives. The Chinese had to wear thin cotton dresses. They always used to wear a thin cotton dresses. Yes, they used silk also. Not only they used cotton dresses, even they used silk also, and engaged in silkworm rearing. Yes, this silkworm rearing was starts from the Chinese civilization onwards only. Okay, silk manufacturing was a prominent industry for the Chinese civilization. Some of the objects I have shown you here, those all the objects are belongs to the porcelain. Okay, the Chinese used to make excellent pots. They used to make excellent and extraordinary pots. Okay, by using the object of porcelain, and had learned to make various objects from porcelain. Okay, see, tell me, write the meaning of this porcelain also. If you want to know what is the meaning of the porcelain, you have to write it. Okay, when you will get this video, write that also. I think this is the fourth word that which I'm going to give you to write as a homework. Okay, now comes, it was a custom of the Chinese to worship their ancestors. Ancestor means, tell me what is mean by the ancestors. Okay, when you will get this video. Next, it was a custom of the Chinese to worship their ancestors. ತಮ್ಮ ಹಳೆಯ ಅಥವಾ ಪುರಾತನ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಅವ್ರೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, they used to give a worship. Yes. Next, they believed that a dead man become a spirit. Spirit means atma, soul. Okay, they become a spirit, and that the spirit had special power. Usually they used to believe that only after the death of that man, he will become a spirit, and that spirit is having a special power. Okay, who believe this? Chinese people. Okay, the dead body was buried along with the various wooden articles. Yes, this dead body usually buried along with the various wooden articles, pots, bronze vessels, and other objects like the objects of the porcelain also. Yes, the tombs of kings used to be quite large. Okay, the tombs means gory. Okay, the tombs of kings used to be quite large, and also see, and also they used to get buried with various wooden articles also. Yes, not only a things, not only a bronze vessels, not only a porcelain, and even pots, even wooden articles also. Yes, now comes the writing form or script. Okay, what kind of script these Chinese in Chinese civilization we used to see. The Chinese tradition of writing begin with pictures and got transformed into an ideographic script. Okay, let me read it once again. The Chinese tradition of writing begin with pictures and got transformed into an ideographic script. Writers used to write on silk and bamboo slips. See, during the Chinese civilization, Yes, or this Shang dynasty, there is no manufacturing of paper. Okay, at that time, those people or those civilization people, they are not knowing the use of or the how to manufacture the paper. For that reason, these Chinese people used to write this ideographic script on any silk cloth, either bamboo slips also. Yes, they used to write it on a silk cloth, not silk. They will not write it on directly silk. They used to write it on silk cloth. Okay, and also bamboo slip also. Now comes, this is the last point where I'm going to explain you now. Okay, here I have written only one point, that is porcelain and the great wall are the exceptional contribution of this culture. So I hope that you people know that the world's greatest wall was built in China. Okay, that also in Chinese civilization. That was the greatest contribution of the Chinese civilization. Yes, not only that, even the contribution of the porcelain objects and the Great Wall also the bronze objects also, and some of the sculptures you can see in this picture. The Great Wall is there, and some of the sculptures are there. In some of the temples also they were built, but when they used to build the temples, those all are in a different way. Okay, and porcelain object is also there, and they used particularly they used to build the objects with they here while producing things, they use here bronze. Until then nobody not knowing that bronze is also a metal that we have to use as a tools or a objects. Okay, so I hope that up to here you people learn about the three civilizations. The first civilization is Egypt, second one is Mesopotamia, and the third one is Chinese civilization. Yes, regarding this session you people are having any kind of doubt, you can ask me through the Google class. Okay, either you can contact me. Okay, so until then take care of yourself. We will meet in the next lesson. Okay.